Hello and welcome to Double Dragon Trouble,
Oh, Jesus.
our weekly D&D stream, where we play a game of homebrew D&D, set in the Forgotten Realms, in a time where Tiamat, the Queen of Chromatic Dragons, have taken over the whole world. But luckily, we have heroes who will fight against her tyranny. They've joined the resistance against the tyranny of dragons, and in arbitrary order. Well, not all of them technically, because one of them died and was replaced. But
I'm just here for the ride.
yeah, just for the ride. In arbitrary order, we have Dinok, the Wood Elf monk, played by Frederik Penduro.
So holy.
Holy indeed.
Then you have Bethrogar World Throne, the Dwarf Barbarian, played by Lykke Spurrer.
These names get better every time.
Last but not least, I mean, at some point they'll get so convoluted that they'll like spring back in a new form.
Yeah.
You'll be reborn. And then we have Balthazar, the Asimar Warlock, played by Chris Jürgens.
Thank you. Perfect. I can't wait to legally change my name to that.
Yes, I don't know how to spell it. I know that you spell it with difficulty.
With great difficulty.
Indeed. Alright, so, what are you up to? You are up to a lot of stuff. One thing, you're on a mission from the Resistance to track a caravan going south out of Waterdeep. That mission has taken a long time. Currently, you are in the Feywild, somewhere in the halls under the Gloaming Court, where you have been attempting to reclaim the soul of Dinok and the former party member Dagos. And you more or less succeeded, and you killed the Blazing Knight in the process. Then the party was split. One part of the party went into the quarters of the Blazing Knight in pursuit of the captain of security, a summer Eladrin elf called Hadorai, whom you almost killed, and then you cornered him in one of the chambers of the Blazing Knight. You also encountered his sister, a winter Eladrin, and had a bit of conversation and kind of managed to diffuse the whole situation, despite the fact that you killed several of Hadorai's guards. And then you were shown to the Blazing Knight's treasury, where you were enjoying looking at all the artifacts, or the artworks, I should say, and the money and the magical weapon on the wall. The other part of the party, consisting solely of Balthazar, decided to go another way. He wanted to get back to the Gloaming Court, presumably, but to do that, he would have to go through the security maze, which would require him to use a blaze stone that would show the way through the maze. But the blaze stones had been deactivated for security reasons, so he just went in blind. And when we left off last time, you were in a corridor. These like obsidian-like stone corridors. And you heard a voice saying something to you along the lines of, what have we here? So, the party split. Let us start with Balthazar.
Great. Alright. Do I see anything? Or is it just darkness?
Make a perception check.
Alright. Seven.
You look up and down the corridor, and you can't see anything. It's just this smooth obsidian corridor. There's not even dust or cobwebs or anything. It's just clean. And then to your left, down the hallway, it turns to the right. And in the other direction, it also turns to the right. So kind of cuts off your view after about 50 feet in each direction.
I'm gonna stick to my previous tactic and hug the right wall.
All right. So you start moving down, and you get to the right turn, and it's like a 90 degrees sharp turn, and you come around, and you can see the corridor extends for another 100 feet before it makes a right turn again. But nothing else in the corridor.
Is it dark in the corridor, or is it fairly well?
But there are no light sources, But I presume you have dark vision because you're an SMR.
Yeah.
So you can see
So it's okay.
something. But it is dark. It's not totally dark, but it is gloomy.
All right. Oh, perfect.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, this might take a while. I'm probably gonna keep walking and keep like trying to see if I can get this goddamn blaze-stone to work.
All right, you are slapping the blaze-stone. You make it down to the next corner, also right corner, 90 degrees. You walk around the corner, and you can see that after another 100 feet, the corridor makes another sharp right turn.
And there's no other ways in this corridor?
Nope.
Well, then I guess I'm just gonna do that.
None that you can see.
Mysterious.
You want to continue?
Yeah, I suppose for now, at least.
All right. You walk down the 100 feet, take the sharp right turn, and you can see the corridor going on for another 100 feet, making another sharp right turn.
God damn it. Gonna just trace along the left wall, see if I can find anything out of the ordinary, or
Are you going in the same direction, or are you backtracking?
going in the same direction, just at the left wall.
You walk along the left wall for another 100 feet, and then you can see the corridor takes the sharp right turn, and you can see after another 100 feet again, it takes another sharp right turn.
Ah, god damn it.
Cut to the other part of the party. Bethroga and Dinok, you are still in the Blazing Knight's treasury, or I guess you can call it treasury. With you are the son of the summer Eladrin called Hatterai, and his sister Rhea. Hatterai is sort of like keeping some distance, holding back a bit, but Rhea's just walking around, opening the chests, revealing the contents of silver and gold. What do you want to do?
Can I check some of the other chests?
Sure. So there are 4 chests in total. And you open them, and they are filled with coins. Small leather bags of coins. Some of them containing copper pieces, a lot of them containing silver pieces, some of them containing gold pieces, and you even find a bag containing platinum pieces.
I would like to take that.
A lot of money. Which one? All of it, or?
Can we just take all of it?
Primarily the platinum
All
coin
right.
stacks, and then some gold.
All right. The bag with platinum pieces contains 100 platinum pieces.
Ooh.
Jesus Christ.
And you can count at least 28 bags of 100 gold pieces.
Jesus, we're rich.
We are getting that gold.
All right. And then you count all the bags with silver, and you count 100 bags of 100 silver pieces. So it might be too much to carry all of it at once, so you might want to prioritize a bit.
For both of us, or just for him?
Well, it's in front of you, so you can split it however you like. No,
Yeah.
you can kill Dinok and take the whole share.
Ah!
It wouldn't even surprise me. You could actually do it.
I could do
kill
it.
me, like in one hit.
I could probably.
Yeah.
But
let's not do that.
I'm not
Just moving
drunk
down a
right
bit.
now, so I don't want to.
Okay.
I'm sensible enough to not do it.
Okay, so how much gold was there?
So if you take all the bags, there's 2,800 gold pieces in total. But they are pretty, like they weigh a bit each, and they are a bit bulky. So I mean, they do all the coins in total fill up 4 chests. So
Does your strength modifier have anything to do with how many of them you can carry?
well, yeah, technically. So what are your well, just your strength score.
I am just my strength score. My strength is 18.
18. All right, you can carry quite a bit.
Nice.
I only have one on 14.
All right. You can probably at least carry all the gold bags and the platinum bag, and then maybe a few of the silver bags. But again, it's a lot of bags to carry. So
Yeah, I'll just see if I can put as much of it in my backpack as possible. Just like we can split the gold, so if one of us gets caught, then we won't lose all of it.
Yeah, by that logic, you're carrying the. No, wait, you have the lowest hit points left.
Yeah,
Should
exactly.
you be carrying the platinum bag?
Yeah,
or...
yeah, definitely.
If you die, I'm gonna loot your body so fast.
Yeah, deal.
It's a deal.
Okay,
So I just take gold bags and silver bags, like the remaining gold and silver bags, right?
all right, so you split the gold half and half.
Yeah, she can take a bit more gold, I think, since. I don't know.
Yep, you can do that. So
Okay, so-
Dinok, you can take like 8 bags of 800 gold pieces total.
No, not math. Don't make me do this.
And then Bathroga, you can take the 20 other bags.
I need a calculator.
2,000 gold. 2,000 gold.
2,000 gold. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I have 800 gold. And then the silver, what was that?
So there are 100 bags of 100 silver pieces each. So 10,000 in total.
Why?
And you also
Yeah.
count just like, I know, 1,000 copper pieces if you want to deal with that.
Nah.
Fuck the car.
I turn over to Ria and ask if she can, if she might be interested in carrying some of the silver pieces, or if she just wants to get out of here.
She looks at, well, I can carry some, but then I think I would consider it mine. Then
Okay.
she walks over, picks up
Yeah,
3
it's
bags.
just so we don't let it go to waste.
Right, she takes 300 silver pieces. All right. Hatterai kind of steps forward and raises a hand. You're not going to take any of this away. These treasures belong to the Blazing Knight.
He is dead.
He is unfortunately very dead.
Are you that naive? Don't you think that he has, like, inheritors, he has creditors? This money needs to be divided among all the people who have a share in his business.
Yeah, we all helped kill him, so we'll share his business.
That's not how business works.
I mean, it is now.
Shit. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Berries.
Unfortunately, we don't have the greatest morals in this group.
I can see that.
We do have morals, we just choose not to follow them.
It's pretty much been downhill from the beginning.
Yeah, and we've pretty much been forced into most of the situations anyway, so
Yeah,
we should definitely get going. Like,
definitely.
yeah.
Did you take the longsword?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Did you take any of the silver pieces? Just to be sure.
No, I don't think we did.
I just took gold.
probably take, I don't know,
Plot twist: this treasure is cursed.
10 bags of silver pieces or something like that, if you want.
Every coin is cursed in this
Bearing in
room.
mind, there are also 4 pieces of art in this room. There's this a gilded harp with gems on it, and there's like a statue of someone doing like this, made of presumably jade, judging from the color. And then there's like it looks like some kind of necklace, but it's like super elaborate with mother of pearl panels and pearls hanging down. Basically, pearl swag.
Pearl swag.
And then there's like a silver wheelbarrow.
Oh my god.
I could grab some pearl swag.
All right.
I think I'm taking the harp.
All right. So, get the harp. Pearl bags.
Yep.
All right.
Just grab it on my back.
This would be so easy to escape with.
Like, I'm gonna drop if I have disadvantage on all of my attacks because of it.
We'll see what kind of situations it will bring.
We'll just try and dash through the town, and then if someone's following us, then if we see a group of people, we'll just throw one of the bags down so it like scatters gold everywhere, and it'll function like an Assassin's Creed where guards can't get through.
Yes.
But then again, they could just. Did anyone see a harp pass by? And, well, let's see. We'll see what happens. So yeah, you got your loot.
Yeah.
And your harp.
I think we should probably get going now. Can I'll quickly take out my Blaze-Stone and say hidden exit.
So okay, so is it the Blaze-Stone that you got from like when you came, or where did you get this one from?
I got it from what do you call it? That other the dude that that we helped, the one who hid in the wine barrel.
Oh, right. So you look at it and you say that, but it just remains blank. And this brass plate in the front where these glowing letters and a symbol showed up previously.
Can I see if I can remember who has the one that we took from the captain?
Did you take it from the captain?
Yeah, we took one from the captain, and then we got one from that dude in the wine barrel.
Oh, that captain.
Yeah, that captain.
All right, I thought about Hatterai. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we took it from.
Sure.
Okay.
Well,
Is that just...
it's probably, I don't know, who took it? You? I don't know.
I think I took it, but then we divided them, and I can't remember which one got the...
Well, make a fate check. Just D20. See if you're lucky.
12.
12. You are in luck. You reach into your pocket and pick out the other Blaze-Stone from the captain.
I also asked that one. Hidden exit.
It's also dead.
Oh. Nothing, not even just a tiny glimpse?
No.
Oh, damn. Well, apparently these don't work anymore. I mentioned it to the others, including Hatterai, if in some case he wants to know.
Well, he looks very angry at the moment, so he's not really receptive to anything you say. So he's like, "Ha! You will never get out. If you try to get out through the maze, oh, the horrors you'll walk into, the terrible fate that will befall you. You will wish for death before the end.
I just stand like this.
And you will not even be granted that wish."
I fail my saving throw and I have to facepalm, and then let's continue. So I asked Rhea if she knows if there's any hidden exits or anything.
Yeah, there's one. It's a bit. Well, it's up to you if you want to use it. It kind of bypasses the whole maze thing, but it goes through some servants' corridors and leads directly to the Queen's quarters. It's well, it's an option for you.
Is there an escape from the Queen's quarters?
Well-
directly out into the city, or
There are no maze between the Queen's Quarter and the Gloaming Court, so it would be just a matter of walking out.
I guess we'll have to do that. I really don't hope the Queen is home.
Well, she probably is. But, I mean, you seem capable of getting places you're not supposed to be. Maybe
Let's
you're
do
also
it.
capable of getting out of places you're not supposed to be.
Yeah. Let's see. And if
Oh.
anything happens, we'll just say that we don't know you. In case you
Yep.
want to hang back, so you
Well,
will get
maybe,
caught.
yeah. I mean, I've been here for a while, so maybe I can talk us out of some situations. Who knows? We'll
Oh,
see.
that would be lovely.
I mean,
I don't-
again, we probably won't die if they catch us.
Do I have anything in my disguise kit to make it easier for us to get through the corners?
Well, what do you have in mind?
I was
Mexican
thinking.
wizard.
I was thinking that we might dress up as some of the workers, and clearly I'm gonna disguise this harp as an ordinary harp, so I can pretend to be a musician. Traveling
So you
musician.
disguise a harp as a harp?
I disguise a harp as a not as fancy harp that could have come from a very expensive and very forbidden treasury.
Alright, yeah, sure, you can do that. So you want to disguise as the workers down from this room workshop, or?
No,
I want to be
just
a
the-
traveling musician,
Alright,
and then the others can be workers if I have it in my disguise.
sure. Make a performance check for each of you.
For each of us.
Yes.
So do I start with myself?
Yeah.
Okay. I roll. What is the modifier for performance?
Charisma.
Charisma. Okay, so that is 15.
15? Alright.
Who do I roll
Make
for?
a pretty good disguise. You like take some dust and disguise some of the gold and find
Yes.
a white hat with 2 feathers going in crazy
Nice.
directions.
Okay, who am I rolling for next?
Then roll for Dinok.
Dinok rolls. He rolls a flat 19.
19. Alright.
Yes.
I am basically also employed.
Yeah, you just look at him and just adjust like one of his eyebrows. Yeah, that's it. He
Yeah.
looks like a worker.
Who's next?
So you
We
could,
don't really have any.
yeah, readjust. I'll just go to myself, if you
Okay.
don't mind. And at this point, Hatterai will look from each one of you and then look at his sister. Hang on a second. You're not going anywhere. What do you think you're doing? You can't just walk out of here. That'll be treason. And Rhea looks at him. That's a bit rich coming from you.
Ooh,
Oh,
not thickens.
Well, where do you think you want to go? You will be hunted up throughout the entire Feywild. Want to go to the material plane?
Yeah.
Infested with dragon scum?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
no place for anyone.
No.
no, not really, but we've lived there our entire lives, so we've gotten quite used to it.
We have quite a mission, so
Yeah, we also have kind of this mission to end it, so kind of hope to
no,
do that.
not the world. Just
Not the
just the dragon.
just the dragons, just the dragons.
Like, you fools if you think you can defeat the dragons, if you only knew half of their plans.
Well, you thought that the thing that the Blazing Knight was building could defeat the dragons.
Well,
But
not
we
defeat
just killed them.
More like a safeguard.
Oh, so you're taking the coward's way.
Let me get this straight. You are in direct opposition to the dragon cult.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, then I guess that would put us on each opposite sides of this whole conflict. Not only are you burglars, intruders, and murderers, you're also my moral enemies.
Your moral enemies.
Indeed. Because I, for one, is loyal to those I swear my fealty to.
And which one of the heads did you swear your fealty to?
Not the heads. I sworn allegiance to the Blazing Knight, and through him to the Queen of Air and Darkness. And she has allied herself with the cult. So you see, we are indeed enemies.
Apparently, but since you're unemployed now, we're not enemies anymore.
Just killing my master will not change anything. And he looks over at his sister. You can't go with these people. The Feywild is our home. And Rhea will say, well, I thought that the summer court was our home once, and then it turned out that it wouldn't be so anymore. So I don't see any reason why we shouldn't, or at least I shouldn't, move on. You can stay if you want to. And then we cut to Balthazar.
Ooh.
So, Balthazar, what do you want to do?
I assume it's still been the same. Just
Yeah, you have
one big
thoroughly
square.
established that it just makes a big square.
Now
You
would
can
be
try
the.
to go backwards yet.
That's true. Well, it's worth a shot. Now that you mention it.
Sideways.
Oh. All right, you walk backwards a bit and round one of the corners, and you see that directly in front of you, as soon as you turn the corner, the corridor just ends in a blank wall of obsidian.
Oh. Nice. Now would be a real good time for some divine intervention.
And you hear the voice in your head. Maybe I could help you, but since you used that spell, I'm trying to regain control.
Regain control.
The
You
dark
already-
powers, I'm using every ounce of my strength to keep it at bay.
Shit.
You opened that door again.
I didn't know he would find us when we're here.
I warned you.
Well, I have a plan for all this, but I need to get out of this maze.
Well, all I can do right now is keep you out of the tentacles.
That'll do. Alright. Well, shit. I am in a dire situation.
Oops.
For now, I'm just gonna do another lap in this square and really keep my eye out for anything like that would seem magic or out of place.
All right. You turn around and you make it around one corner, and in front of you, the corridor ends in a blank wall.
Oh no. So now I just have one hallway to work.
You have a small section left. And just judging by the sound of your breath coming off the walls, you get a sense that the corridor has been shortened behind you.
I look up.
It's just a wall.
Well, this is nice. Fucking magic.
You look back down. In front of you, the wall has come a bit closer.
Shit. I firebolt the wall.
All right.
It worked in Skyrim once.
What? Cool. Make an attack roll. See if maybe this is like Skyrim.
Hopefully I can hit a wall. 12.
Well, yeah.
You miss.
Firebolt. Throw it on the wall. And as you do so, that section of the wall just collapses into dust.
It's Skyrim!
It is like
Behind
Skyrim.
Behind it, there's another wall.
Oh.
But in this wall, there's a door.
I open the door, or at least try to.
It's locked.
Ah, shit. What's the door made of?
It looks like it's made of obsidian,
Ah,
like the rest.
shit. That doesn't burn very
Carved with trees and flower patterns.
Just to be sure, I am gonna firebolt that as well.
All right, make another attack roll.
25.
25, you hit it. Let's have some damage.
Alright. What's that one? 16.
16. You throw it on door. It shakes a bit, but it stays intact.
Does it seem like it's taken any damage? Or did it just shake?
Well, you can make an investigation check.
Sure. Why not? Investigation. Oh, I'm so good at that. 8.
8. You look. Well, you saw it shake, but you can't see any damage. No cracks or anything in the stone.
So is it just a small section of the wall that's gone?
Yes, it was just like around the door, the wall collapsed.
I'm just gonna firebolt the section like directly next to it, just to see if there's anything
You
happens.
don't need to roll for that.
No.
You just hit it, and the fireball just turns to embers as it hits the rock surface, leaving maybe a mark, but it's black stone, so you can't really see it.
Alright. Well, seems that I was kind of lucky with that this was the section. I'm just gonna pound my fist on the door.
All right, you pound it.
Yes.
Make a perception check.
Come on. Oh. 21.
You can hear footsteps somewhere beyond the door, and they're not coming like directly behind the door. They're coming from somewhere behind it and down, deep below the door, slowly echoing their way up. Then we switch back to the other half of the party, laden with their treasures. At this point, Rhea is going to gently shove past her brother and lead you out of the room. If you want to follow her.
Yeah, I think I follow you.
Alright. As you do so, Hadorai draws his sword once more and just holds it
Oh my
blocking the
god.
doorway.
So tired of this guy.
For once, I cannot allow you to kill my master, but you did so. Second, I cannot allow you to take my master's treasures, and you seemed intent to do so. But I will not allow you to take my sister as well.
I mean, we're not
Stay
really.
here until the guards show up, and then you will be processed.
I mean, we're not really taking your sister with us. She seems to be going quite willingly, actually.
That's a matter of perspective.
No, it's not. It's a matter of what your sister said.
So what you're saying is we can't really undo the killing your master thing, but you're saying that we have to choose the treasure or your sister.
No, I want you to leave the treasure, leave my sister, and just wait until the guards show up. I know it sounds unreasonable,
It is.
but the alternative is another fight. And I'm not sure you're up for it. And he looks at you, Dinok.
Okay, come here, Bethroka. Let's go back into the treasure. I will just gently nudge her and say, "Do you still have those healing potions?
I do.
Can you, like, slide one over to me? Like, just give it to me."
Sure. I just need to remember how many I have. Oh yeah, 6. I have 6. Right. Yes, you can have 2.
Make a sleight of hand check, Bethroka.
What is the modifier for that?
That is dexterity.
Can I, like, help, like, by moving closer or something? Just
No, it's okay. I rolled 15.
15? Alright. Yeah. Hadora is just so he's occupied with some hair in his eyes. He doesn't see it. You just pass a couple of healing potions over.
I drink one.
Do you want to keep it secret? Or do you want to do it in plain sight?
I want to do it like secret.
Alright, make a sleight of hand check.
Oh, I love sleight of hand. 19.
19.
It's good to be monk.
He rolled a 20.
What?
Hang on a second. What are you doing over there?
I just drinking. I'm just drinking. Like, you told us to deliver the treasure back. I can at least take a swig of my whiskey to drown my sorrows.
Through the door, you can see Rhea poke her head back in. Are you coming or not?
Yeah, we're coming. Okay, let's go, Bethroka.
Yeah, let's go.
Again.
Did I manage to drink it?
Oh yeah. So you got the hit points. So that's
Cool.
2d4 plus 2. Hadora hasn't moved, so he's still blocking the door with his sword. But you can see like some of your wounds stitch back up after you've drunk the potion.
I drink another potion. Just like in plain sight and just
Stop doing that!
I just hold it still. Just like still drinking.
Gain another 2d4 plus 2 hit points.
Oh my god. Okay.
He steps away, takes the sword, puts it back in the sheath, looks at you. Very well. But this is not the last. This is not the last of it.
No.
This will have consequences, I can tell you that. Grave consequences. Be
Oh yeah.
Well, I
absolutely sure about
do
that.
actually study the effect of death. So that is
That, I
It's
would
like-
say, is an apt subject of study in your case. And steps away from the door, just crossing his arms. If you
Yeah, okay.
get out alive.
okay. Looking forward to see you again next time. And
Oh,
move past.
it would be pleasant for one of us.
We could even drink tea or something.
I'll drink on your grave.
I have one in Waterdeep.
Really?
Yeah,
Alright.
it's quite fancy actually.
Well, maybe I'll see you there.
Yeah,
I'll see
okay,
you
good.
there then.
Perfect.
Slowly.
Just walk past him to
Shadows.
follow Rhea.
Rhea looks at you as you emerge from. He's a bit dramatic, and he's very straightforward. Well,
He's fun though.
sometimes.
Yes. Okay, of course.
Let us get the hell out of here.
Yeah, indeed.
Indeed.
This way. She shows you out of the room, down a corridor, into a... It basically looks like some kind of shrine. There are candles burning along the side of the walls. There's a servant that is just lighting some of the candles, and he looks up as you enter, looks a bit surprised. Lady Rhea, what is going on? Who are these guests? Why the Latin so much with treasures? Is that the master's sword? And points at the sword you're carrying, D-Lock.
Jesus!
We have to move all this to a safe location. The queen has requested it. The Blazing Knight is dead.
I see. So you're using the tunnels?
Yeah, we're using the tunnels.
Oh dear. Gets up, dusts his hands off. Finds a piece of cloth and just sends it. Then he walks over to a large portrait and takes the side of the frame and just swings it open. And behind it, there's a corridor. Quickly.
Yeah.
Are we under attack or something?
Yeah, it was horrible. We couldn't do anything. We just had to escape. He was killed by it.
Are they coming for us now?
The leader of the knights here. I think that's Summer Latin. Yeah, he cut him up.
Who? The same
Blazing Knight.
What? He looks at Rhea. Your brother is a traitor. She, yeah. He's a, traitor? Maybe. Probably. You should investigate? It sounds dangerous. It's still in there. All right, quick. Through the tunnels. Through the tunnels before he gets to us. I don't hold you mind if I come along with you. This
No,
seems
of course not. You need
All
to
right.
find somewhere safe too.
Get in.
Okay, hurry inside.
Ushers you through. You first, then. What are you? Some kind of a bard? You too. Get through.
Oh yeah, you disguised yourself.
Yes, guys.
Just as a little, not that it changes anything. Grubbalust is with you.
Oh shit. And all this time,
Big ass
Grubbalust is
dragon
standing there. I don't need a disguise.
Yeah.
He hasn't been carrying any gold either.
Do you want me to go back and get some of those bags of gold?
Forgot he existed. Damn it!
Well, he actually, oh shit, Grubbalust, and then he comes around the corner with the silver wheelbarrow just filled with bags of silver coins. I thought this would help. Wait, you there? And he points at the servant. Help me get it into the tunnel. There's like a small step into the tunnel from the ground floor. And the servant's like, it's so heavy. Just put your back into it. Or use your knees or something. I don't know. Lift with your back. It's jerking movements. And they lift the silver barrel into the corridor. Let's go!
Let's go!
The servant sits on top of the wheelbarrow and he's just like riding down the tunnel.
Oh,
All right. Forgot. Grubbalust was there.
Oh, great.
How can I forget him?
All right. You make your way down the corridor of this tunnel. It snakes around a bit, goes up, goes down, and then it gets into contact with other tunnels going other directions, sort of like passing by each other, crisscrossing. You can see small side rooms, depots with rooms and stuff. Some of them look completely disused with the cobweb and dust and stuff like that. But you can see the floors are somewhat clean, so someone is using this place. And the servant, stuff like, you said we're going to the Queen's quarters. Why don't we evacuate straight to the barracks? It seems like the safest place to be.
I don't really trust the guards anymore since Haderach was the one who did the treason. I saw some other people, some other servants who got cut up. But they were already dead when I got there, and I just saw Haderach murder the Blazing Knight. So
Yeah, but Haderach is not part of this guard. He's a private hired.
But who knows what he's been paying the other guards to keep quiet? I haven't heard
highly
of a lot.
doubt the guards would be that corrupt. Not in the Queen's court. You obviously not been here very long, have you?
No, but I've seen my fair share of corruption.
Preposterous. Not in the Queen's court. Only the finest individuals are chosen to wear the silver armor of our Queen. But still, if you insist, the Queen's quarters that way. He points.
Let's hurry.
And the Bruce just lifts the wheelbarrow. Let's go! And drives down that corridor. Balthazar.
Yep.
You hear the footsteps slowly making their way up. Then they approach the door from the other side. Then you hear the lock.
I'm just gonna cast Disguise Self
Alright.
as just a worker. One of the ones I saw in the maze earlier.
Alright. You take a appearance of like an elf in worker's clothes. And then the door opens inwards. Amazingly, obsidian can creak, apparently. And behind it, there's nothing. You can see a flight of stairs leading down, a small landing in front of the door, but no one behind it.
Fuck. Well, only one way to go. I'm gonna carefully head down.
Alright, you start making your way down the staircase. And you notice that even with your dark vision in here, your vision is very limited. It's as if the air is full of some kind of black mist, almost.
Gonna cast Dancing Lights to see if that helps, or if it just obscures that as well.
Cast a spell, the lights pop up, but they seem muted, almost as if the air itself is absorbing the light, trapping it.
Good times. Well, now they're there, so they're just gonna circle up around me.
Alright. You make your way down, one flight of stairs, two flights of stairs, down, down, and down, and down you go. After 20 flights of stairs, you hear a sound below you.
Huh.
It is the sound of a child crying.
This seems somewhat familiar. Oh, God. Just gonna... Hello? Just raise my voice and see if there's any
No reply. Only this faint sobbing coming from somewhere below you.
Alright, I'm gonna start walking down faster.
Alright, you start running down the staircase. You never seem to get any closer to the sobbing. Strangely enough. And you walk down or run down 10 flights of stairs. 20. Just keeps going down and down.
I don't meet any floating faces in the darkness, do I?
Well, not in front of you.
Oh, shit. So, on one of the landings of the stairs, I'll just firebolt the wall again. It's worked
All right.
once, could work before.
Cast it. But the firebolt just explodes on the obsidian surface, sending sparks and embers in all directions.
Can I, like, look down and just see? Like, it's probably dark, but... Like, over the
There's
railing.
like a small gap that you can see. And the staircase just continues down and down and down into the darkness.
Great. I'll try heading a bit up again.
Alright. As you turn your attention the other direction and start to ascend the staircase, you can see a glow far above you. Maybe 20 flights of stairs above you. And it flickers orange-yellow light, kind of muted behind the black mist. Kind of gives off the impression of flames. Fire, maybe.
I'm gonna head up towards it.
All right. As you start heading upwards, you can see that the flames are heading down to meet you at a steady pace.
All right. I'm gonna stand my ground and just wait for me to be able to see what this is.
All right.
But be in a stance that's ready to like run.
All right. You wait, and you can see this light coming down through the central shaft, or the small gap between the staircases. Yeah. As it gets closer, you get more and more convinced that this is indeed flames, just a raging inferno heading down towards you. And slowly the sound of the flames also pick up. And you get a sense of the heat as it slowly builds.
That seems real. All right, I'm gonna start heading down.
All right. You start running down to the darkness, towards the sobbing sound. Cut to Grobelust leading the way with a silver wheelbarrow filled with treasure and a servant. Whee!
Damn it.
You get to a point where the corridor ends with a wooden panel, and the servant jumps down and pushes it open, and you can see it's the backside of another portrait. And you emerge out of the tunnel into a richly decorated room. Still carved in this obsidian rock, but it's carved so it looks like trees growing up with leaves of silver above you. Lamps hanging amongst the silver leaves, sort of like distributing the light. Very, very stark contrast in colors. It looks like some kind of study. Maybe there's some books lying on a table, some bookcases, some nice soft furniture, rocks on the ground. You can see there's a fireplace with mushrooms burning inside.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that we need to get rid of this dude, so I will just try and kill him non-lethally.
Oh my god!
Kill him non-lethally.
Kill him non-lethally.
No, he looks at you. Why were you supposed to bring this? He indicates all the treasures and the harp and all
Can we
this.
just
The Queen's
knock-
treasure chamber.
Can we just knock him out, like actually non-lethally?
That's it.
Well, you can try if you want to.
Who wants to knock him out?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? No one's knocking out anyone.
I attack him.
It's nonsense. Whoa! Make an attack roll with advantage.
Yeah.
Are you attacking non-lethally?
Yep.
Alright.
And that is a 26 to hit.
It is.
Okay.
Roll some damage.
Poor guy, man.
And that is 10 damage on the first one, and then, of course, we have the flurry of blows.
You
So
hit
I
him
roll-
once, and he just goes out.
Okay.
And then you're ready with a fury of blows. Oh, alright.
Oh, so no need.
Well, you can do
Okay.
it if you want to.
No, oh my god, that's overkill. That's over knockout kill. That's killing non-lethally.
I mean, if this guy gets out of this whole situation with his face intact, then he's probably a lucky guy.
Yeah. Not too many do that, but they knock around.
Well, true. Statistically, it's true.
Then Kalaburu says, Dilok, help me with this, the wheelbarrow. We need to get it down from here.
I help him.
He's like still sitting inside the corridor. There's this small ledge out of the portrait. Take the wheel!
We
I'll take the handles! Let's go! Like, just starts pushing it out. Make a strength athletics check.
I thought you were about to say make a strength saving throw. Natural 20.
That'll say, yeah, you're like, whoa, you're surprised, but then like grab the wheel and just whoop, lifts it up and you safely put it down inside the study. And then Bathroga and Rhea can also emerge into this study.
Can I just quickly, like, after they've exited the hallway, can we just put the guy back into the hallway and close the
Sure.
gate?
Lift him up, shove him in there, whoop, and then close. The portrait looks like some kind of air elemental battling a Teresk. Crazy fight.
Oh,
Vivid colors, but in a tasteful palette.
Huh.
You can appreciate art. You're quite the artist yourself.
do I regain HP from it?
From watching the art.
Wow.
Oh my god.
You
so
regain 1 hit
beautiful.
point from just you just take a moment. This is really good.
Try a single team.
Okay, so Rhea, how do we get out of here?
I suppose we just try to walk out, and then someone will probably ask what we're doing with all this stuff. And at that point, I suppose you guys will say something, and the guards will either try to kill us or accept the absurd situation as some sort of truth.
Well, let's
Either
try
that-
it then.
Or we can break down the walls until we get the hell out of here. I hope the guards don't notice the sound.
How fast do you think we could break down the walls and escape?
Oh, they're pretty sturdy.
Well, I have a giant axe. And I don't want to meet any guards.
I think the outer wall is made of pure obsidian, so I'm not sure. I think it would take a while.
We don't have that kind of time.
I like
Wow.
breaking stuff.
You can break some guards if it comes to that.
Never mind.
You could lure some guards in if you want to.
Kill
Well,
them off.
I'm not- I'm sure killing the guards would improve the situation as it is.
No.
Not really.
Let's just try and get out and then try and non-lethally kill them.
Right. Also, I think we are on the inside, so we might have the advantage of presumed authority, maybe. We could try to play on that. However, ridiculous it might seem, and she glances at Grubberlyst with a silver wheelbarrow just full of bags of silver coins.
Grubblers, is there any possible way that you could, like, move the bags of silver into your own backpack and then we not bring the wheelbarrow?
I couldn't personally carry all of those.
Okay, fair enough. Bring the wheelbarrow.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, let's just try and get out of here.
Also, I don't know what happened with the other one. Balthazar. I think he went the other way. It's madness.
He did seem a bit.
Yeah, we
mad.
lost him.
He
I
grabbed
don't
like
know what his plan was. I
he
think.
grabbed a bunch of souls earlier.
I just hope he's alright.
Yeah. Me too.
I must say I've grown a bit fond of him. He
Yeah,
doesn't
he's-
say that much, but
he's
he's
a
a good
nice
guy.
companion.
Mm.
Doesn't talk too much. Does what needs to be done. Perfect companion.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, let's get going.
Let's go.
Alright, there's one door leading out of the study. If anyone who wants to
I
have a
would
go
like
at
to.
it.
I would like to check it.
Alright,
Just like see if there's anyone out there.
alright, make a perception check. As you look through the keyhole.
Natural 20 again.
You look through the keyhole, and there's a mirror directly opposite the door, and then mirrors on the other side, so you can actually see the entire corridor. So yeah, you look out and you can see there are what looks like servants walking in either direction, lavishly clad in black robes with it looks like either pearls or like teardrop-shaped beads of silver, maybe hanging in rows from their clothes. And you can also see in either direction there are guards. Some of them just patrolling, some of them standing outside rooms. So yeah, quite a bit of activity outside.
Does it seem like they have any, if they're in a rush or something, the guards patrolling?
No, they just walk steadily, just looking at the servants as they pass by,
Okay.
looking under a table there, just
Gently,
clapping on the one like ornamental curtains, just
gently close the door and then tell the others what is up. So we have a bunch of patrolling guards and some servants moving around out there, but they don't seem to know what's going on. They're just doing their own business.
that seems reasonable. I
So-
mean, the Blazing Knight's quarters is security-wise far away.
Yeah, so should we like try and get them to move over to the Blazing Knight's quarters?
How would you do that?
Tell them that the Blazing Knight has been killed
How would you know that?
because we're coming straight from there. We had to take this secret route.
We could try. Bearing in mind that we are carrying his treasures.
Yeah, we're securing his treasure. No, but
I mean, you're
then
the
what-
experts.
what would you suggest?
I don't know. I thought you had a plan.
We do.
You seemed very confident when you came.
I am extremely confident.
All right, well then show it. Don't tell me.
Okay. I walk straight out the door.
Rob.
Sort of,
you see
sort
one
of
of the
like
guards
in a
immediately
panic.
turn to you as the door opens, look at you,
I
really up
rush
and down.
towards him.
He like takes a stance, like he's ready to react. He looks a bit suspicious at you. You there, what are you doing in those filthy clothes?
Quickly, you must get to the Blazing Knight's workshop. The Blazing Knight has been killed.
Nonsense.
Treason
Treason.
by his own personal guard, Hatteray.
That seems strange. Make a deception check.
Can't remember what. Oh god, this is not good. Yeah, unnatural one.
Yep.
Amazing.
I had
That
to pay
sounds
back for
very
this.
doubtful. And as he says that, out of the room, a Grabbalist comes with a silver wheelbarrow just full of treasure. You there! Stop right there! What is going on here? Like, whistles, and some of the other guards turn around and comes running down. They're all wearing these heavy plate armors with all kinds of decorations, and they look very ornamental. But you notice that their weapons are clean and they look well maintained. And one of them saunters up. What seems to be the problem here, Private? And it just indicates, well, these people just emerged from the study. I think they're up to no good. This one says the Blazing Knight is killed, and is obviously lying. I say we have just caught ourselves some burglars. Well, listen, well, they would undoubtedly be the worst burglars I have ever seen. That is the case. And I've seen some pretty bad burglars in my life, I must say.
Indeed. I mean, we're standing here with a wheelbarrow full of gold and expensive ornaments. We would be complete idiots to try to steal this for any reason at all.
It's from the-
Clearly. Yeah.
It's from the
Continue.
Blazing Knight's treasury. It's been compromised. We're moving it to a safe location.
So you just assume that you have the right to take these treasures through with the Queen's quarters?
We had to. The Blazing Knight He died. He got it. The one who did it got everything else locked down.
He looks at you. Blazing night. Well, I suppose he had it coming. Well, alright. We better sort this out, see what's what. Private, take them to one of the barracks and find a safe place to store the treasures. Yeah, then I will send some people over to the Blazing Night and hear what's what. I suppose Hatterai would be the one to get into contact with. And looks up.
Hatteray was the one who did it.
You say that just as he looks at Rhea. And this is his sister, right?
Yeah, Rhea.
Hmm.
She's the one who helped us escape.
This is very confusing. Private, please take them to the barracks. We'll sort this out when everything is secure. Someone check the portrait. We need to search the tunnels. You there, Ekbon's another one. Send a message to the Blazing Knights quarters. Maybe this could explain why they've shut down the Blaze Stones. Ah, what a mess. And on this day. Alright. Chop, let's get to it. And the private stuff like, alright, all of you, start walking down the corridor. Please leave the wheelbarrow. He doesn't care about the harp. Is that some pearl swag you're carrying in your pocket? Please put it down as well.
Yeah.
And
Put it down.
some of the guards just like surround you. And then start shoving you down the corridor towards presumably the barracks. Balthazar.
Oh, yeah, I have to leave just about now. So.
All right.
So that might be a
Seems like
fitting
a good
place.
Then we'll
Yeah.
hop over to the old overlay.
Cheers.
All right.
Bye
Well,
bye.
see you next time.
See you.
So yeah,
Bye.
And then we'll have some webcam shoving around. As,
Oh my God.
The overlay.
They're all wrong. It says Frederick is the dungeon master.
Oh.
What?
You've been promoted.
Oh my. The old overlay. All right.
I'll just change this.
Well, you're kind of the person in charge, so we'll just-
I'll do this
take
real
it.
fast. I can multitask. It's no issue.
it's a non-issue.
As the team continues down through the corridors towards the barracks, a sudden noise erupts in Balthazar's mind. Found you.
Ah, shit. Well, luckily Thijs is back as the dungeon master. All right, what's going on?
Oh my god, it's like when you let children run a show for a second. And then Tiamat died.
Hey!
Okay, I didn't kill anyone.
But you could have. Balthazar, you are descending the stairs once more.
Yep.
And you can see the flames coming from above you are steadily following you towards the bottom, if it indeed
There
has
is.
a bottom staircase. And below you can hear this crying child all the time, drawing away from you as fast as you can walk down the staircase. This goes on for what feels like half an hour. And then you turn one of the staircases, look down, and your further progression is blocked because the stairwell from here on is full of bones.
Huh.
Humanoid bones. And the sound of the sobbing child comes from somewhere down in the bones. And it suddenly seems a bit closer.
Well, this doesn't bring back fond memories. I am go. Yeah, if the voice seems like it's closer, I'm going to. Like, it's just made of bones now? Or...
So, no, so the staircase just continues, but it
Yeah.
has been filled up with bones. So it's like a
Oh, so I can't.
one of those
I
like
can't run through.
ballrooms from fast food restaurants. just with skulls and bones and ribs and stuff instead. So you're gonna have to dig or dive if you want to continue.
Yeah, let's go bone diving. Let's see what happens.
All right.
Yeah, I'll just try to see if I can like wade my way through it.
Make a strength athletics check as you try to push your way. I mean, this is
Not strength. All right. 12.
12.
Yeah.
You start to make your way down, pushing the bones aside, and it's super difficult because some of them are like interlocking, some of the big cages blocking, and it's not very easy terrain, let's say it that way. But you do make some progress, and you get to a point where your head is just above the level, like the surface, if you will, of this bone pit. You can see the flames are still approaching from above. And you can hear the sobbing child somewhere, it seems, maybe a few feet below your feet, if you will. You can't really see below the bones because there's so many of them sort of interlocking, just blocking your view of what's going on below you.
Wherever I think I can hear the voice, I'm gonna go for.
All right. Make another strength athletics check as you take the dive.
Come on! Another 12.
Oh. You laboriously push your way into the bone pit and trying to follow the voice. It's hard work. You're really struggling. Your breath is like loud in your ears, making it a bit difficult to actually locate the voice. So make a perception check with disadvantage.
No. One of them was a natural 20. God damn it. 7.
7?
Yeah.
All right. You like, in a way, you swim down. You like burrow your way down like a mole into the bones. And then you kind of lose direction. You thought you were approaching the voice, but then you listen, and then you actually been moving away from it. Now it's like way over to the side, and you start to burrowing the way over to that side. Then wait, was it actually that way? You spent quite a while trying to find your way, and you can see above you all the bones are lit up from behind, backlit with orange light, and you can feel the heat emanate down above, making you sweat. The drops of sweat falling off your face, hitting the bones, running down and disappearing into the darkness below.
Well, I suppose up isn't really an option anymore. So
Well, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, well, it's not a good option from what it seems. But neither is anything. I'm gonna keep going somewhat downwards.
All right. As you prepare to do it, you hear the voice of your celestial guardian once more, and it sounds a bit resigned in a way. I can hold the darkness at bay, but it might be an option to just let it take over. Maybe it'll be more powerful. Maybe it'll be more helpful in this situation.
Yes, perhaps in this situation, but you know what comes after.
Price might be terrible.
I can't go back there.
I'm glad that you can't. I had my doubts at some point. I will keep pushing back against the darkness. You do what you must do.
Good. Keep going.
All right. Let us have another strength athletics check.
One of these has to be good. Oh, 18.
18.
Yeah.
All right. You're inspired by the choice that you made.
Yeah.
You really push down, digging deeper and deeper and deeper. And you get a sense that you are putting some distance from you and the flames above you. You no longer have a sense that this is a stairwell. The bones seem to go on in all directions, and you have been digging your way around, so you're not even sure which way is like where you're pointing anymore.
No.
If it wasn't for your capable ears and the the internal organs of your head, you wouldn't be able to tell what is up and down even. But luckily, you do still have a sense of gravity. The sobbing is somewhere off to the distance, and you are level with it now.
Oh. I'm gonna go towards it.
All right. Make a perception check.
Natural 1.
That's the one. You start digging, and then you think you hear another sobbing voice from behind you. And then you turn around, and then you're not sure. As you shuffle, all the bones around you shift, grinding against each other. And you lose all sense of direction. You're not even sure what is up and down anymore.
Oh no. Well, can I see/feel the heat from
Oh
some
yeah,
direction?
you can see the flame. So yeah, you assume that it's still up.
That's up. That's all I know.
Then you feel another shift in the bones that was not made from you
Oh shit.
nearby.
All right.
And we move back to the other group.
I don't know who is in a shittier situation.
Well, we'll see. So, Dinok, you, Bethrogar, Rhea, and Grbalust are taken to a barracks. Down a corridor, a real nice corridor, then down a less nice corridor, then a very utilitarian corridor, and then you get to this area. There are like guards all over the place, some of them just playing games, some of them adjusting equipment, like burnishing the leather, sharpening swords, all that kind of stuff. And you are led past all that into what looks like some kind of training yard with some practice dummies and stuff like that. And the crowd just, we can put all the treasure over there, and all of you get in here. And you're like ushered into this yard. High above you, the ceiling is just made of stone. It is a closed room, but small lamps hung above you give the sensation of being under a starry night sky. A bit like the onsen you were in, where it was like a painted ceiling.
How many guards are there?
So you are being escorted by 10 guards. And just inside this compound, you can see there are 3 guards practicing archery. And a few others. You passed maybe 50 guards in total as you got to the barracks.
Can I make an insight check to see if they've likely noticed that I have that we also have gold in our backpacks?
Well, as you get in there, they sort of like indicate that you drop all your treasures, your equipment, all your bags. They seem pretty chill about it, but they are making all these requests at sword point. If you'd be so kind, drop all your bags over there. I can see you carrying a few weapons. Just put it all against the wall. I mean, if you're nothing to hide, then you should just comply.
Yeah, well, we put it all up to the wall in the wheelbarrow, or
No, just up against the wall.
oh yeah, we do that.
All right. Grbalust looks a bit like, really want me to. Puts all his weapons. And, of course, Bethrogar just unloads javelins and light hammers, hand axes, great axe, all that kind of stuff against the wall.
She's
And,
still dressed like a bard.
Yeah. At least she's not dressed as a kobold anymore.
Yeah.
The private looks at you, Enoch, because you seem to be the only person with a presence at the moment. All right, well, it shouldn't take too long. We've sent a messenger, so if you can just stay here for a while, stay put, then we will get back to you when we know more.
Of course. I take a seat.
Very good. The private.
Do you have some games we could play while waiting?
I'm afraid not.
Oh, okay.
We're busy. It's a
course.
big day. He leaves. And you can see the archers sort of like looks over you, then shrug, and then continue doing their archery. There's still maybe 10 guards just lining the walls, keeping an eye on you. Then you wait for maybe half an hour, and someone clearly further up in the hierarchy arrives. He's wearing the same as silver armor with the like edgy spikes and stuff, but also with like black feathers just rising up behind him. So huge. He's like walking in. Looks over at you. So you did tell the truth, did you?
Yes, of course.
Oh yeah, the blazing night. Terrible business. Oh, the queen will not be happy about that.
He was just about to finish that artifact he's been working on.
Ah yes. Terrible shame. It would have been very useful in the coming conflict. Well, we did find Hadrai, and he appears to be accusing you of being the cause of all this. So I'm afraid at the moment it is like accusations against accusations.
I see.
Who speaks the truth? Who doesn't? So if you don't mind, we're going to have a bit of a courtroom session.
Of course.
We'll sort this out.
Sure.
And if you're found not guilty, obviously you'll be able to leave. But if you're found guilty, then you probably know the penalty of intruding into the Queen's quarters without permission, killing one of her grand artificers, and just in general causing death and chaos in the Queen's realm. Very good. Well, please come with me, if you will, he says, very politely, but again, all the swords, all the guards have their swords drawn, indicating.
Yeah, I just follow.
Very well. You're there through some rooms, into some a bit nicer corridors, and then you enter a large room with sort of like benches all the way around, and you're ushered into the middle of the room, and then you're sat down on some benches. Then after a while, Hadrai is also led into the room and sat down on benches opposite you. And then just hundreds of people walk in, taking seats, just sitting, talking to each other. And there's like a general murmur of voices all the way around you. And then someone blows like a trumpet. And the door opens, and out of it walks a person with midnight blue clothes, like flowing robes with pearls and silver details. This is a guy that would probably fit that pearl swag you found pretty well, and just walks in, sits down behind a high table overlooking the whole room. Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, honored judges, honored jury, honored everyone, even the guards. We should not forget the guards. We should not forget the guards. And he like claps, and everyone in the room like politely clapping. All right, what do we have here? Like leans over to one of his aides. I see. All right, Mr. Harurai, you were in the employ of the Blazing Knight. Is that correct? And Harurai is all like, that is correct. I was head of his private security. A task that I apparently failed miserably at because of those barbarians over there. And he points towards your side of the room. And the elf with the glasses. And indeed, that was what to be expected of someone of your position, I suppose. He looks over at you, Dinok. You are accused of murdering the Blazing Knight, stealing his treasures, and just in general being a dick to his staff. What do you have to say in your defense?
I'm just a simple shroom stoker. It was even my first day on the job, and then suddenly I'm standing above the corpse of my newly employer, and then I get told by these people to help transport his treasure to a safe location, and then we're running for our lives through the corridors.
Make a deception check.
This is an important one.
1. Not natural. Not natural 1.
He sits for a moment, like when you are talking, just, yes. I don't know about the honorable people in this room, but I find this conversation, I don't even know what to call it, this weak attempt at deflecting the accusations of the honorable Mr. Hadorai, I find them ridiculous. You are obviously not a shroom stoker. And he looks around in the room, and everyone's just like, ooh.
Are you besmirching my reputation as a shroom stoker?
I am not besmirching anyone's profession. I have the highest regard for anyone who is doing an honest job. Except for those of the criminal intent.
I would say at the age of 7, I managed to, by my own self, to discover how high a temperature adamantite needs to melt perfectly. It started me up in this profession.
That is a compelling argument. What temperature? Pray say.
1400 degrees.
He looks around. This man knows a thing or two about adamantine. I'll give him that. However, we do have some evidence to suggest otherwise. Bring in the first piece of evidence, and someone walks in with a trolley, and it's just like a silver plate with a piece of paper on it, and he indicates that the servant can take it up, and he unfolds it. This is the workers list taken from the Blazing Knight's archives, and what would you say your name is, Mr. Shroom Stoker?
Dinok.
Dinok. He looks at the list.
As I mentioned, it was my first day on the job.
Yes. Except your name is not listed on the document. How can you be in the employ of the Blazing Knight, claiming to be a Shroom Stoker, without even be registered in his workers' archive?
He was testing my mettle on the first day, see if he wanted to keep me after that day. That's probably why I'm not on the list.
So you were not employed. Ladies and gentlemen, the explanation changes. And there's general applause all the way around the room. This is going to be easy. Exhibit number 2, please. And the servant walks over to you, Dinok. Please extend your hands. Please, sir, extend your hands.
I hold them out.
He takes your hands, looks at them, and then he holds them up for everyone to see. What is the typical call sign? Well, not call sign. What is the typical sign of a shroom stoker? Can you tell me that, Mr. Dinock? Even though you are indeed not a shroom stoker, you might have an idea.
Well, of course you would often be able to see it on the wear of their hands.
Not just the way. You see, shroom stokers are notorious for getting their hands burned. And this, the powder that we cover the shrooms with, it affects the skin, and I do not see any sign of powder damage to your hands. So, Mr. Dinock, you have obviously not been working as a shroom stoker for very long. Yet you claim that you have been in this profession for quite a while. Indeed, that would be one of the requirements for the Blazing Knight to hire you. He would not hire an amateur, not when he's going to craft a powerful artifact. What do you have to say for yourself, Mr. Dinock? Or are we all in error?
Well, I can't really say anything. Like, your deductions are so far very logical. Like, it's quite amazing, but I don't see how I can explain this any more than I've already done.
Well, then, do you plead guilty?
I plead not guilty, Your Highness.
All right. Very well. Then we shall move on. Bring in the witness. And onto a stand, one of the shroom stokers shakingly steps in, looks around, looks at all the finely dressed people in the room. Mr. Meredith, do you recognize this person? And he points at you, Dino.
I use my aura of reaping. Hour of reaping.
Jesus.
My hour of reaping. The AoE frightened thing where I'll just select it fully to focus it on him.
All right.
Oh, okay.
He needs to make a wisdom save.
All right. Does the feature specify how obvious this is?
No, it doesn't. I'll just check the.
Like, do we hear like bells tolling in the background? Or...
Do you turn into a demon?
No, I'm just checking.
Either way, he
No,
rolls
I gain the ability to unsettle or terrify those around me. Doesn't
Alright.
say anything.
You just look at him with your gravest expression.
Just like series.
And he rolled a 16, so does he pass?
Wait, let me check. Damn, it passes.
He like looks at you for a moment. So, I do recognize this person, Your Honor. And for how long has this person been in the employ? Or let me rephrase, because we now find out that he was not, in fact, in the employ of Blazing Knight. We have indeed found out that he is an intern, if you will. Does this sound like the truth to you, Mr. Meredith? And the screw sort of like wipes his brow. You can see his hands are sort of like darkened on the palms with some white scars, burn marks. This man, he came down to the workshop with a company of. We assumed they were fans. We assumed they had been cleared because they were deep down in the workshop. We assumed there was sufficient security. We didn't question them when they came down, and well, he did take the test. The Blazing Knight did put him to the test, and he did stoke a lot of shrooms. And I must say, he did an okay job at it. He did burn one of the grates, but he did do an honorable job, Your Honor. But he was also the one who instigated the fight. He was the aggressor, I would say. Could you please elaborate on that, Mr. Meredith? Yes, Your Honor. He threw a bunch of crystal shrooms onto a table full of soul jars, and that set off the whole thing. The Blazing Knight was obviously not very pleased with it, so he got into his armor, and then he and his friends set upon the Blazing Knight, destroying his armor. The Blazing Knight tried to surrender, but they stuffed his head with fire shrooms and blew him apart. Mr. Dinak, does this sound like the truth to you?
I did, in fact, throw a shroom on top of the table with the soul jars. That's because I realized that my soul was in one of those jars. After many years of searching, I found it. I lost it once when I had to save some of my friends. I had to bargain it away for my friend's life.
That sounds extremely boring. Can you provide any documents that show that you are indeed the owner of your soul?
No, I can't.
So it is in fact not your soul anymore. Is that what you're saying?
It is my soul now. I got
But
it.
it's not yours to possess.
Probably
Is
not.
that correct?
Not that way. No.
You broke in to capture or steal, if you will, your soul.
No, that was highly by coincidence. I just recognized the jar. I don't know.
So it was not a
I
planned offense. Is that what you're saying?
No, it wasn't planned at all. Like I just felt that I needed to get that soul jar, and when I then got to it and opened it, it turned out to actually be my soul.
Well, again, we are back at that 80 soul argument. It might very well be the soul originating from your body, but if you bargained it away, you lose the property rights to said soul, unless you can provide with any certificates of purchase. Then obviously it is no longer your soul to possess. So clearly, the soul, I believe, and he lists to one of his aides. Oh, yes. And his handle paper. Indeed, we have it here. The certificate. And I can see it is signed by the Blazing Knight. So the soul is indeed the property of the Blazing Knight. So you were attempting to steal Blazing Knight's property, and when he rightfully resisted said attempt, you went about killing him, slaughtering him in his own home. Is that correct, Mr. Dinak?
Yes.
Or have
correct.
we overseen some details that appear relevant in your eyes?
Well, maybe the fact that the Blazing Knight actually did try to kill me when he got into his mech. Like there was no room for discussion afterwards. He went straight after us, me and those other people who were with me. I don't even know why he attacked those. They hadn't done anything.
Mr. Meredith, does this sound like anything you are familiar with? Well, I suppose the Blazing Knight did draw first blood, but he was not the one who instigated the fight. Very well, that is all, Mr. Meredith. Mr. Hatterai, you described the situation where you came into the workshop and said people, including Mr. Dinak, resisted arrest. Whereupon they set about killing your colleagues. Could you please describe the situation? Maybe Dinak can can verify, since he seems so eager to oblige the court today. Hadrai looks over at you. Yes. We went there and all. We had every right to go into the workshop. And there I saw the body. The headless body of my master. I am the head of the security of the Blazing... the former head of security of the Blazing Knight. It is my duty to apprehend anyone who poses a threat. But these people resisted in the Blazing Knight's own home. And then they started casting spells. There was this horrible thing, this sphere of darkness. It consumed one of my men. And the dwarf, he points at Bethrogar, carved one of them from head to toe, while they were pleading for their lives. And this one, he points at Gilbalust, attacked with no mercy. And there was someone else. He looks over at your stand. There was someone else dressed in black clothes. He had black veins in his face. He was disguised as one of my guards in the beginning.
I object, Your High Honor.
Please, Mr. Dinnock, refrain from interrupting Mr. Hadrai until he is done with his testimony.
If you wish.
Thank you, Your Honor. This fourth culprit, if you will, he destroyed one of my men. One of my men was crawling out of this weird darkness that he created. And he just blasted him in the head with fire, exploding him from almost the head and his torso, and it was gruesome. And some of my people tried to get to the exit, but they just hunted them down without mercy. They killed them. They just killed them. That is all, Your Honor. Mr. Dirac, does this sound familiar to you at all?
It does, except that guy he's talking about, he wasn't with us. As he said, he came in with the guards. I would highly question the security when one of the guards turned on the other guards. It scared the heck out of me too. How was I supposed to know that Hadray was also not one of those people? For some reason, he didn't get attacked by that dark sphere thing.
He leads over to one of his aides, whisper a few words. Well, that is a compelling and interesting, if you will, turn of events. Who is this remaining culprit who are not here in the court? He looks over at the captain of the guards, who's sort of like, well, Your Honor, we haven't found anyone else. We have searched all the quarters of the Blazing Knight, and we found these trying to make their way out of place. I don't know. I don't think there is anyone else. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have a far greater mystery at our hands. We are missing a piece, if you will, of the puzzle. Who is this fourth assailant? Who is he? Looks around. Mr. Dinnock, you claim to have no knowledge of this fourth perpetrator.
Indeed.
Interesting. Captain, it would appear that there's still a culprit on the loose in the Gloaming Court. And to be frank, I feel like I'm wasting my time here. And finally he pulls off his glasses. Maybe you should try to find those responsible, instead of wasting my time. Do a bit of research, investigation, before you call everyone into court. All right, well, Mr. Hadrai, I understand your concern, but obviously, you are out of your depth. And Mr. Dinok, your party, you. Do you have anything to add before I pass judgment?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Well, you're found not guilty, Mr. Hadroy. You are found guilty in obstructing the work of the court. You will be fined for the inconvenience, and then we need to find the proper assailant, who has clearly outwitted even the best of the Queen's guards, and he looks through his glasses at the captain. Well, that is it. Show's over. Back to your drinks, ladies and gentlemen. He gets up and leaves, and everyone just gets up, and conversations erupt all the way around you. A sea of voices and clinking glasses. Cling, cling. And one of the guards walks out. I'll take you back to your property, I suppose, and show you the way out.
Thank you.
Very well. Cut to Balthasar. You are swimming in bones. The flames are approaching from above you.
Yeah. Are they getting closer?
Yeah, they are. All the time.
Good time.
You can hear the sobbing. This is a fucked up situation. You can hear the sobbing child somewhere nearby, hidden behind the layers of bones. And then you also notice the shifting in the bones around you that was not caused by you.
Does it seem like the shifting of bones and the sobbing noises come from the same place or different places?
No, it is almost in opposite directions.
All right. Well, I doubt that anything moving down here wants to help me. Going for the sobbing once again.
Alright, make a perception check as you start moving, pushing your way through the bones, making them shuffle all around you.
18.
18 this time. You managed to actually stay on course.
For once.
And also, that 18, you can hear the shifting bones sort of like slither around in your wake. And you push your way. You have dark vision, so you can see a bit in front of you. And finally, you get to the source of the wailing. It is a wall, slightly curved, as if you are in, sort of like in the bottom of a huge pool or a vat, if you will. And the wailing comes from a hatch with a kind of like a valve, like wheel hatch. And the wailing comes from inside.
I'm gonna try to turn the valve.
As you start, it squeals. And the sound apparently makes the sobbing stop from inside. You turn it, pull it open. Bones rush past you to fill in the hole. Inside, you can just see darkness.
Hello?
Your voice bounces back from somewhere.
Do I still sense the presence of something behind me?
Indeed.
I'll see if I can make my way through.
All right.
I don't know how big this...
It's big enough. You can sort of like grab each side of it and just pull yourself through. And if you do so, you pull in more bones that just clatter onto the floor. A metal floor, slightly moist. And the sound bounces around. And you get a sense you're in a large empty space, sort of like boxed in by metal walls. Behind you, through the hole that you came through, you can see the orange glow from the flames, and you can also see in the bones something shifting, approaching slowly. You get the sense of some kind of face approaching you in the bones.
I'm going to cast a firebolt back against what I just thought I saw. Can I just attack roll?
Make an attack roll.
18.
You hit something. Let's have some damage.
Oh god, come on. 15.
15 damage. Alright. You throw the firebolt through the opening. It passes between the bones that are sort of like falling down to collapse the corridor that you dug. It just makes it through. You don't see what it hits, but you hear like a door thud.
That'll be it, and I'll continue the way I was going.
So with your dark vision, you can't see any of the walls. They are apparently that far away from you. The floor is made of metal, and it's sloping slightly down in the direction you're heading. It feels moist, as if there's like a bit of water running down here and there. Slightly slimy. Make a dexterity save as the slope slowly increases.
Boy. 11.
11. You were just about managed to stay on your feet as your feet already scoots around a bit on the slippery surface. And the curvature keeps going, getting more and more steep. And you get to a point where you feel that you can't just keep walking. It's so steep now that you're going to slip if you just carry on as you've been doing. Regularly walking, if you will. So,
what do I see around me? Do I see anything? Or is it just...
You can see the floor behind you. Far behind you, you can see the hole that is glowing orange, as if a distant furnace or fireplace. And then in front of you, the floor just keeps curving down and down and down, becoming steeper and steeper.
Shit. Does it still seem like the darkness is like that sort of magical darkness where the light doesn't really?
No. It seems that this is just regular darkness.
Oh. I'm going to recast dancing lights.
All right. Where do you want them to go?
Just send them down.
All right. So 3 balls of light just zoom down over the curve. And you can see it just keeps curving, curving, and curving, as if you're standing on like a giant cylinder almost. And at one point, they just disappear over the curvature of the floor, I guess, and disappear into darkness. From the light they cast, you see that there are things hanging from the ceiling far out over the void. That looks like chains.
God damn it. This is the time I wish I could fly. But I haven't taken a long rest. I think I'm just gonna check out if I see anything, if I just head sideways along the edge.
All right. You do that. You can also redirect your lights back to sort of like fly in front of you. And you see that 100 feet to your left, the room is blocked, or like it ends with a possibly an iron wall or whatever this metal is made of, riveted it together in sheets. And in this wall, there's a door.
Let's go check that out.
All right. You walk towards it. It's just like a plain metal door with a handle, keyhole, and like a couple of iron bars blocking a small porthole in the top.
Do I hear, or can I
Make a
see?
perception check.
15.
15. You can hear a steady breath behind the door.
I'll just check the handle, see if it's...
Try it. It's locked. Then you hear the breathing approach. You can't see what's beyond. Apparently it's keeping out of sight.
Just gonna be very prepared with a firebolt. If I see anything. No.
Are you ready to come to safety?
Who are you?
I am the one who keeps this place. If you want me to, I can open the door, let you in.
Well, I'm left with little other options, so please
Very
do.
well. Put your hands through, and you see a hatch opens, just big enough that you can, sort of like a large letterbox opening.
Shit. Alright. I hesitantly do it.
All right. As you do so, you feel a searing pain around your wrists,
Oh, shit.
as if someone has clasped red-hot irons around them. Then the door is unlocked from inside, and it's pulled inwards, and you're sort of like pulled with it. And as you swing open or swing in with the door, you can see there are corridors also made of riveted metal going off in all directions. And sort of behind the door, there's just this vague, black, shadowy thing. And you hear the sound of an iron rod being moved. And you feel that you can retract your hands. And then the door closes. And there's some rustling with some keys.
So what now?
Now I find you a place to stay.
Could you be more specific?
Yes, I can find you a nice cell if you want me to. If you behave nicely, we have some nice places. If you don't, well, we have some pretty bad places as well. And just so you know, trying to run away is not going to help you.
What is this place?
Start walking that way. And a bony, grey hand protrudes from the darkness and points down one of the corridors. You have the honor of walking into the presence of the Queen of Air and Darkness. You will find this place is much more pleasant than what we would find outside.
But as a prisoner. Sure.
Indeed. No one gets to this place unless they Up to no good. Maybe you can entertain me by telling me what you've done to get to this place. We don't get many prisoners down here. I don't have many people to talk to. I'm sure we will become great friends. I'm certainly better company than what you would find down in the blood wastes.
Do I know what the blood wastes is?
Make a history check.
Just... Oh, 3.
3? No idea. You are escorted by this figure. Even with your dark vision, you can see the corridor. You can see that you're passing by other of these metal doors. But when you look at this person, you can't really see him. It's just darkness, as if someone has erased that part of existence from your view. And yeah, you're slowly making your way down the corridor as the camera pulls back. As you disappear into the darkness.
Oh yeah, shit.
So yeah, that is where we will end for tonight. Maybe we'll end with just Dinok being escorted out of the queen's quarters back into the gloaming court with all the tables and the revelers and the drinks and the parties. There's just constant party going on in this giant underground cave. And Gilbert's just standing there, looking out over all of it, with his silver wheelbarrow full of bags of silver coins. And then he leans into you. Dinok! You are quite a silver-tongued bastard! And that is what we'll end.
Thank you.
So we will pick up next time, find out what happens to Balthazar.
Once again.
And
Wait, did Ria come with us out, or
oh, yeah,
was she
she's
called?
outside.
Oh, nice.
Right. Well, that went better than expected. Seems to be born on a lucky star or something like that.
Yeah, apparently. By the
So,
way, where is Bright Scratch?
Oh, Jesus. She is, maybe she is also in the cells of the Queen of Darkness.
She followed.
We'll see. So, yeah. Next time we'll pick up the story. Next Thursday at 7 p.m. Central European Time. The regular time of the week where we meet for this little game. Yeah. If you want to rewatch past episodes, we have a YouTube channel called Double Dragon Trouble. Most of the episodes are uploaded. I think I'm behind on a few, but they'll get there in time, surely. They are backed up. So yeah, hope we will see you next time for some more adventures.
Indeed.
Be safe until then.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Bye.